Well, it's the brother man in the motherland. Let's talk about Shaft in Africa. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. Right on. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name's Doyle, better known to as the Big D. This time around, I'm going to review the 1973 blaxploitation action flick Shaft in Africa, released by MGM, directed by John Gillerman. Once again, starring Richard Roundtree as our titular character, John Shaft. Now, the screenplay was written by Sterling Sylvant, based on the characters created by Ernest Tideman. Vonetta McGee co-stars in this film. Now, this film wasn't as big as the other two, which this is why I'm going to try and keep this, not give the whole story away, so this way I won't give it completely away like the last two. So if you haven't seen my reviews for the first two Shaft features, go to the click that card and you can catch what you might have missed or see them again if you'd like. Because anyway, this is the last Shaft review I'm giving you for now. I don't know when I'm going to do the Samuel L. Jackson movie or the more recent movie, which I know I've heard is terrible in some ways. But anyway, well, at home in his New York City apartment, John Shaft is drugged with a tranquilizer dart, then kidnapped and persuaded by threats of physical force, the promise of money, and the lure of a pretty tutor to travel to Africa, assuming the identity of an indigenous language-speaking itinerant worker, and his job is to help break a criminal ring that is smuggling immigrants into Europe, then exploiting them. But the villains are tipped off that he is on his way. So, Shaft initially passes a test before being hired for the job. The test involves him surviving a small overheated room without water and a floor covered in deep sand, mimicking the supposed conditions of Africa. So, he covers himself with the sand, thereby avoiding heat stroke and winning the contract from his new employer. So he embarks on the mission to infiltrate and destroy a human trafficking and slavery ring in Africa and France. That's all the story I will give to you. So I'm going to go ahead and give you what I think of the film. Well, I will say it's not really the best of the Shaft trilogy, the original. But overall, it's fair in some ways. Now, this film was released in June of 1973, and later on that same year, MGM had recently sold the Shaft property to television, where CBS had premiered a Shaft TV series, but it was canceled after just 7 episodes. But back to the movie, we have Richard Roundtree as John Shaft, and he's still pretty good at this. We have Frank Finlay as Amafi, Vanessa McGee as Alame. Now, I think I've heard that name before. Oh, yes, Vanessa McGee, who recently starred in Blackula, which came out the previous year. Yeah, she recently played the role of Tina and Luva. Okay, that's what I thought. That's who I thought that was. There's also several other actors, but some I'm not too familiar with, and their names are kind of hard to pronounce in my view, so please bear with me on this. Anyway, yeah, it was a shame they didn't have Gordon Parks back on board to direct or even create a good score, so Johnny Pate did the score for this, which is alright, but it's not as good as the others, though. However, the film got lukewarm reviews. One said it is still quite good. It's fairly violent and very sexy, but is less daring and less ethnically sophisticated and what have you. Hey, that's understandable. So I think it's still it's kind of a 50-50, a good and bad film and what have you. Now another review says it's crude and slight, but simplistically made entertaining adventure story that resembles a James Bond thriller. But anyway, the film failed to approximate the financial success of the first two films, in large part because in 1973, theaters were heavily saturated with blaxploitation films, as opposed to how the first two Shafts had debuted with virtually no competition in the genre. But anyway, prior to this film's release, there were hopes for more Shaft films. But anyway, they went into the TV show, and we wouldn't get any more Shaft until 2000, with the Shaft 2000, which I've learned which I know is not a remake. It's kind of a reboot continuation, or I mean reboot / sequel, with Samuel L. Jackson taking on the role. But Richard Roundtree does actually return in this and what have you. But again, I'll think of reviewing that maybe some other time and why if I decide to watch that again. That version isn't quite as good. I don't consider to be great though. But I think the 2000 Shaft was reasonable in my view, and they did have Isaac Hayes return to do the theme song, But overall, Shaft in Africa, its story is good in some ways. The acting isn't too bad. I mean, we have Richard Roundtree back. But with a different director and a different composer for a score, it's, like I said, this film's a mixed bag and what have you. So would I recommend Shaft in Africa? Well, I'd say maybe just to be on the safe side, give it a one-time watch. If you're not satisfied with it, stick with the other two films. But I should say, I don't hate this film. I mean, I have seen it maybe a few times, but, it's just that I feel I've got respect for the good action and what have you in the New York setting for the first two films, So anyway, that's all I'm telling you. That's why I'm going to kept this review brief and what have you. If you've seen Shaft in Africa, please tell me what you thought about the film in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and be a part of the Big D Nation. And stay tuned for my next Saturday morning TV log coming up tomorrow with the Harlem Globetrotters. Now, you might get another review coming up, but I can't guarantee you that. I know there's some new movies coming out. You might get a review of one of them, but let's not jump to any conclusions. If I don't get to see anything, I do apologize. So, you know the rest. So anyway, thank you for watching, and if you like this, you may want to consider check out my reviews for some of these other films. In the upper left-hand corner is my review for Blackula. The upper right-hand corner is my review of the James Bond flick, Live and Let Die, which happened to come out the same year this did. Or you can go to the bottom left-hand corner and see my review for the blaxploitation horror flick that was kind of in a way spun from Blackula, Sugar Hill from 1974. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.